Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Trolls Gaming Podcast. If you are new and joining us today, we
Okay. Been a while? Are you dead? Are you? Jeez, man.
I'm fucking exhausted. Anyway, we're three brothers who get together and talk about gaming. We may also talk tech, TV, movies, and other nerdy, geeky stuff too. But first, I'm Nasty Nate.
And I am Take It Easy, Jono.
And I'm Dandolph the Wise.
And today we're finally talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Oh, yes, it's time.
The time is nigh.
Talk Henry.
The time is now. Yes, we're talking about Henry.
I'm
and-
very sweaty.
We're going to be doing a non-spoiler cast.
Yeah, because I'm sure Daniel hasn't beaten it, right?
No.
A non-spoiler cast, which is okay. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. Because Daniel's got enough hours in it, I think, to...
Got about 40 hours.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's good. That's good.
That's a lot.
Just shy of.
There you go. That's good.
Cool.
That works.
But before we get into that, are we gonna talk about anything or what? Nothing.
Well, the Oblivion reveal
Oh,
has come up. Should we talk
Tomorrow.
about that?
It's not out yet, the reveal. It was
Right.
just like a speculated weird
So-
launch. Like, I don't really understand.
yeah. So there was
What's
so many
happening?
leaks. There was so many leaks, and everyone knows that an Oblivion Unreal Engine 5 remake is coming up. That means it had to been built from the ground up, right? Because it's a whole
really
new engine.
strange.
I don't
I
know.
guess so.
So it's a remake.
Yeah, but it's who's doing the remake again? Like, who is making it? What studio? Because I read somewhere it didn't sound familiar at all.
It's not Bethesda? They just
don't
let
think
someone
so.
else remake
Yeah,
their
they
own game.
hire some other
The fuck? It's such a strange
Virtuous, developed by
Yeah.
Virtuous, a third-party company with a reputation for supporting major game studios.
Now, that may be cool
Supporting.
because does that mean that they're not using the creative or
No, I just told
creation
you.
engine?
It's Unreal Engine 5.
Okay, do we have more pictures than what they showed us? Or I guess we're going to get that tomorrow then.
We're probably going to get a little trailer tomorrow and then a shadow drop
It's
possibly.
so
'Cause
weird. It came out of nowhere. Like,
I think people are speculating it's coming out on the 24th. If not tomorrow, then the 24th. Like this week.
they're going to reveal it and then just drop it? Maybe they're
Yeah,
going to say
possibly.
available now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
fucking weird.
Do I buy it or do I rent Game Pass? Right? That's the big
Well,
question.
I have Game Pass right now because I have been playing Avowed.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I've been playing Avowed. I have about 6 hours in it. 6 hours. And I like it.
Really?
I think it's good.
Huh.
It's a bit of a shock coming from Kingdom Come,
Coming
to
from
play
Henry,
this type of game. It's just so fucking good. And and you get used to some of the things. So you're comparing a lot
Yes.
to that.
Yes.
And it's a very high bar. But I mean, the game looks great. The environments are really nice. The graphics they're high quality, but because of that, it doesn't run very well. I'm running native, no upscaling, and I have to put it down to 2880 by 1620. So that's just over 2K resolution
Is
on
it
high
ultra-
settings.
Is it ultra wide support?
I don't know. I'm playing on my TV. So this is with my 7900 XTX.
Wow.
I play it at just above 2K on high settings, and that's what I get around 60 FPS.
Shit.
I mean, and it runs fine at those settings. Now, I'm not going to use FSR 3. I just don't want to do it. I don't
Yep.
want to. I turned
I
off
hate
ray
it.
tracing. This is with ray tracing off also. Ray tracing
Holy
off.
shit.
With ray tracing on and no upscaling, I think it was like not even 30 FPS. No, maybe. No, it was not 30 FPS. It was unplayable. I was like, I'm not playing like that. I can't do it. So I just turned off the ray tracing. I don't care. It still looks good. Looks good. It's pretty sharp. Even I was playing around with the anti-aliasing slider just to see kind of what the performance to quality would be, and I didn't notice anything. So I just put it all the way to low, and it still looks fine. So I don't see any jagged edges or anything. So I don't know what's up with the anti-aliasing, but I turned it all the way down.
And did you feel a performance increase?
I don't know. I just did it because I couldn't visually tell the difference. So I said, well, it must give me a couple extra frames,
Yeah, maybe.
So
Possibly. Did you make your man a super mushroom man or just a regular looking
you
dude?
should see my guy. He looks so stupid. He looks like I put like some weird like piece of wood over his face. It's like a weird wooden thing, and then he's got this giant mustache this big walrus mustache sticking out from underneath this fucking mask thing. It's so dumb. I didn't like much of the character creation. Is really bad. It was bad. I was like, I don't want any of these options on my guy. It's really weird, like facial, like flowers and all this weird shit. Like, I just put this weird wooden thing on my face and this big old stash sticking out from underneath it. That's what my guy looks like. But yeah, the gameplay's good. It's good. It's cool. I like it. You can jump around, traverse. You can climb a lot on rooftops and stuff. Kind of like, yeah. It's like I was surprised to see that. I was like, oh, I can pretty much climb anywhere on this. Like, there's a lot of mantling where you can do where you maybe wouldn't think that you could. And I'm just kind of climbing around the city. You can climb up into like in the mountains and stuff and find treasure chests and stuff. There's always chests. I can hear them. You can hear the chests glistening. There's something nearby.
I think what other game did that? There was the other game that did that, like ringing.
Cool. The fighting is cool. I'm doing pistols, dual pistols, like really
blunderbusses.
Slow. Yeah, like dual blunderbuss pistol, like pirate pistols.
Pirate pistols.
So I'm doing that, and then you can charge them up. So you can like hold the trigger and charge them, and they shoot more powerful. I'm having fun with it actually. I really like it. The story's good too. The story's decent too. It's engaging. It's hard to come from, like I said, from Henry because it's not that living world. The world is you can tell the world is much more stale. It's kind of like there's just people there. They don't really do anything. They're kind of like, you might hear them chatter kind of as you walk by, but they're going to say the same things over and over again. And they don't move around and have a schedule and that kind of thing. There's not many people. There's not a whole lot of people in the world kind of thing. So that's definitely noticeable.
Get into that later.
But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing, and I'm gonna go through it. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be fun.
Cool. I always hovered on it, and I never pulled the trigger.
I was very curious.
I've been paying for Game Pass for 3 months, and I haven't played one single fucking game on Game Pass.
Well, I'm gonna play probably this and maybe that Expedition 33.
Yeah. And Oblivion's coming to Game Pass, most likely.
Ooh.
A lot of people comparing Avowed and Oblivion. Speaking of this remake coming out, a lot of people doing that. But
yeah, I mean the melee weapons and like the magic is similar to Skyrim, Skyrim-esque, but like I got those pistols, so that's a little different. Big
that's true.
Crit headshots, and I'm spec'd into being a ranger, so I'm spec'd into pistols and bows. So whenever I charge them up, it slows down time a little bit, so I can get the cursor on the head, pachow, crit shot, headshot, boom, headshot. But the controls I'm playing on controller, obviously, because I'm on my TV. I have to put the sensitivity to 100% on the controller, and it's still too slow.
Wow, that's like opposite of what we usually have to do.
So fucking slow. I was like, what is going on here? Like,
maybe you have what controller is it?
Well, it doesn't matter. What does it matter?
Maybe it's inside the controller, your sensitivity settings.
No, it is not.
Okay.
Because I play Call of Duty afterwards, and I'm like,
I'm
like, whoa. Like, comparatively. And that's on max fucking sensitivity. I was like, what? They gotta fix that. Like, that's ridiculous. It's still too slow. Like, I would rather have it a little faster, even at 100%.
Ew.
Very strange. Yeah, so maybe a little bit better on my mouse and keyboard for this game. But, I mean, if you're playing on console, I wonder if it translates the same. Like, really slow sensitivity on controller.
That's interesting. I listened to Siege from 1H1D talk about it, and I don't think they'd mentioned anything about the sensitivity.
Yeah. Well, maybe some people wouldn't notice it, but I am a...
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a purist.
You're a controller response geek.
Speaking of controller...
My input is... I'm very sensitive to my input,
I bought a new controller, the Razer Wolverine V2 Pro for PS5 and PC.
Is it the V2 or the V3?
V2 Pro. The V3 didn't come out for Sony.
Because I have the V1, the original.
Yeah.
Pro.
It's good.
And it doesn't work anymore. It's broken, apparently.
Like the handles, like the little nubs at the end of the handles, like where your hands are, the nubs by your pinkies, the actual handle part where it goes down. They're not long enough, so they're like, I'm like holding the controller like with my pinkies
Ugh,
aren't
I hate
rest-
that.
Fuck.
Really?
That's the worst.
So I have to hold it a certain way, and
You just
my
have big,
pinkies.
giant fucking ape hands.
They're not even that big. Look at them. Look at him.
Look at him.
He's like,
He's got this little controller.
Like Reacher in
Like-
the phone.
Yeah, Reacher's little phone.
But
It's
it's
like
a regular size phone.
Homer on that bike. On that little
Homer.
bike.
That's the first thing I pictured.
Oh yeah.
Burn that seat.
But other than that, nice, very nice clicky buttons, very nice.
Mhm.
There's some grip on it, some good grip. There's like there's 6 shoulder buttons. So L1, R1, L2, R2, and then there's an L3 and R3, which is like right in the center over the. Oh, I really like those.
Yeah,
I really
those
like
are
those.
those are my grenade and heal buttons in
Yeah,
Apex.
I really like those.
Very
but
good to have. Keep your thumbs on the sticks.
their back buttons are too far into the center of the back of the controller.
You get used to it.
Yeah, I don't, because I have to stretch my fingers out to reach them.
It's the exact same as the Xbox One. Like I was holding it at your house and I was like, oh,
Yeah?
this is exactly the same as
I don't think
that's
so.
what mine was. Dude, I
But-
owned it I used it for
I feel like,
many years.
speaking of that short controller handle issue, I feel like the PS5 has a similar
Yes, I
problem
hate
because
the
they
PS5.
taper it, like they cut it
Yeah.
on an angle,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
and you just lose that much more pinky support compared to.
I notice
like, the
whenever
Xbox.
I play PS5 for too long,
It
I
cramps.
feel it. I feel it in the palm of my hand because it
Yeah.
just jabs into the palms rather than like a.
or
it's
it's
made
just that
for-
tension that you're using to support
because
because
you're
you don't.
holding it and you're
I'll tell you
squeezing
what.
it, and it doesn't go all the way down past your hand. It goes right into the middle of your hand.
Because it was
Yeah.
designed by little Japanese men with little Japanese hands.
Yeah, that
Little
could be.
hands.
Okay.
I mean, maybe their stature is slightly
Small
less
hands.
robust.
I
than-
can't every time.
Connie's.
I need very large, stupid. Imagine
You need
really
that big
super-
old that
Yeah,
that old
that
Xbox controller. What was that called? The Duke,
Duke?
or something? Yeah.
Oh,
the
it's
Duke.
massive, big for big American hands. That was
Yeah.
it. It was like this.
The
That
Duke.
controller was awesome. I fucking loved the Xbox controller.
Yeah,
And
those were-
Dreamcast was like that too.
Yes, Dreamcast.
Dreamcast was
giant
big.
controllers. That was Japanese though.
Yeah, so maybe northern Japanese maybe got bigger hands.
Northern Japanese, like what?
Uh,
What are we talking about?
I got it on sale.
Did you try playing any FPSs yet with it?
I tried Marvels with it, but you can't remap the buttons in Marvel. It's very stupid. Like I couldn't find a spot to remap the buttons, so the back buttons are useless.
Ugh.
Stupid game.
I don't understand how
I should-
games just don't.
I should just go back to
for
Overwatch 2, to be honest.
custom. Like, how do games not allow for
I just
just
feel-
custom controller button mapping? COD doesn't do it either.
Oh no,
Or
Overwatch 2 does. Or should I say Overwatch now? I think they're
no,
dropping
COD
the
does
2.
do it. COD does do it now. Never mind. Apex does it too.
There's rumors that Overwatch 2 is dropping the 2 at the end.
Just Overwatch again.
Yeah, again. So there was absolutely no reason to. They brought back loot boxes. So there's like absolutely no
Did
reason.
they did an upgrade of some kind, didn't they?
No, it looks the fucking. I don't know. They're stupid.
I mean, I don't know. I don't care about like Marvel Rivals is whatever.
Yeah, Marvel. Okay, so
I'd
Nave,
rather play Overwatch.
Nave from
probably.
Gaming Together kind of hit it on the nail on the head. It's like it feels when I'm playing Marvel Rivals, I feel like it's a cheap, like weird, cheapy rip-off game. You know, it just feels off.
It's fine if you want to play something like third person, maybe something a little
Ah,
different.
yeah,
If
I
you're
don't like-
obsessed
I don't
with
like-
Marvel and you
Yeah.
love Marvel, sure.
And I
But,
feel
like-
like it's like, oh yeah, Marvel
play
has cool
Overwatch.
characters, right? We'll just there's no need to like be creative about the characters. that
Oh,
you
everyone will love these revered superheroes. So
And
we
then
don't have to try.
Since it's not an American developer, right? The amount of sex appeal they put on the female characters are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because Americans are now super prude and don't put women in any kind of scandalous clothing. So now,
That's why people are moving over, you know?
yeah,
They just want to see,
You should see
Emma
these skins.
Frost or some shit, whatever.
there's one skin that's ass is just in your face. You're like, okay, like what the hell's going? Like,
And it's
how am I
third
supposed to
person,
play?
So
yeah,
you see them.
yeah, I'm like, how am I supposed to play this game? The ass is just rubbing in my face the entire game. But the game itself is no. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's okay.
I'd rather play a first person shooter.
Yes, same. I would rather play first person. So I'd rather play Overwatch.
So I've been playing a little bit of that, not too much. We kept playing Call to the Lamb. I've got some beef with Call to the Lamb, man. I got some beef. So we're playing co-op, and it's not split screen. So during the village, like management aspect of it, like you're done your little dungeon, you come back to the village, and it's just not fun. Like you have to talk to each individual follower, collect his tithe, make like you got to talk to him and manage each individual follower, and you can only do that. Like one person can only do that at a time. The other person is like locked out, so the other person can't do anything. So I'm like sitting on the couch, like waiting for Alma to go talk to all of these fucking followers, and I actually end up falling asleep because it's
You're
so
just like,
boring. Yeah. I'm like, just wake me up when we go back into a dungeon. Like, this is brutal. Like, why don't they make it split screen so I can go talk to the other half of the followers or go build something? But I can't do anything. It completely locks you out because it like zooms in to the follower and you're chatting, you're managing the follower, and you have to do it one by one by one by one by one by one. You can't like manage them all at once. You know, it's fucking dumb. And then
That sucks.
the further you get into your village and the larger it gets with more moving things in it, the PS5 can't handle it. This 2D fucking game, the PS5 cannot handle it. It's like chugs along.
Maybe that's just poor optimization.
Man, it's so bad. And like
For
every
a
time
2D game.
Yeah, every time she's like, okay, she chooses a house to assign to villagers, and it takes like 3 seconds for like the assignment window to come up with the list of villagers. Like, it's so bad. It's really, really bad.
Well,
It was fine at the beginning, but the more you play it, the more shit that gets piled into your village. Ooh, it's bad.
Weird.
It's really bad. And
That's bizarre.
yeah, and like the PS5 can't handle it. I can't believe that it can't handle. There's some points where it's definitely not 30 FPS. It's just like chugging along. It's terrible. And then, but what's really nice is the blacks, the HDR. There's so much inky black in that game. It's crazy. Very nice. Very nice.
I have seen pictures.
Yeah, very nice. The colors, very nice. The blacks. But other than that, like now I just tell Emma, like, once you're done the management, call me. We'll jump into the dungeon, and then I'll peace out again. And we'll just
see you later.
Brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah, I didn't really notice because we only played for a little bit though.
Yeah, we're like 20 hours in.
Oh, no, yeah, we didn't play for that long. No, sir.
That's it. That's all I'm... yeah, that's all I'm playing. Actually, I jumped back into my VR.
Right
here. I've been playing some Ragnarok again.
Oh, on PC.
How long has it
On
been?
PC. 4 months. Since Ayla is born.
Oh, yeah.
So you're now playing with the PS5, the PSVR 2
On PC.
on PC.
Yeah.
In Steam.
On Steam VR. 90 hertz, which is what the PSVR 2 and PS5 is doing. But now, I'm pretty sure that wasn't 90 hertz. Yeah. And then now
hertz,
I can put it to 120 hertz in Steam VR. So now I'm trying 120 hertz in Ragnarok VR. And I think it's I can feel it's a little tiny bit better, but not as much as I thought. I'd be like going from 150th place to like 10th place, you know. It's not going to be that good. But I'm still having issues like nailing the latency within 5 millisecond, 3 to 5 millisecond. It's always like minus 10 millisecond, 15. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm still trying to dial in my settings so I can get back into the high rollers club, you know, the top 10s, top 20s. But there's a lot more people on PC than there was in the PSVR.
Really?
We'll take a look at that. Oh, and you can do custom songs. So I did. I sent you guys a video.
Does it use MIDI? Probably the same as. It uses like MIDI tracks to.
Yeah. So I think there's a software out there that you can download. You throw in the MP3, and then you have to like map the buttons to like the MIDI key. I don't know how it does it.
That seems like a lot of work.
But a lot of people have done custom songs, and they have weird like Dragonland, Never Ending Story by Dragonland. Like, fuck yeah, download that, played it very hard, very fast.
Because in the old the Guitar Hero for PC, we could do the same thing, but all we had to do was convert an MP3 to MIDI. So there was like the software that you could it
might be the same. I don't know.
Read the audio, the waveforms and the frequencies or whatever, and put them into MIDI notes, which is weird. But the song on the game would take that MIDI track, because MIDI is like how does MIDI? It's like each track has its own thing that they can isolate, right? In the MIDI track.
It's like little events.
Yeah, little events, exactly. So the game can read those for the guitar part, and it maps it out onto the Guitar Hero board.
Yeah.
So you could just do that.
That's
And
cool.
you could put any song in,
Yeah,
which is
I've
pretty
got
cool.
quite a few custom songs. I got a lot of Kill Switch Engage. You got a lot of those. I got old weird cartoon songs like what's it called? Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Mouse,
No, the Ducks with Scrooge. What's it called?
DuckTales.
DuckTales. DuckTales. That one, yeah. So I might play in the anyway. Ragnarok VR, sick. I cleaned up. I can actually run now on my PC. So
Damn.
little by little, I've got my OBS overlay all done, set up, nice high quality. Now I
Yeah,
recorded
right.
some stuff. I tweaked it up.
There's this
Look
cool
at me.
VR headset I keep seeing ads for, because I watched one video on it, but I watch it on Optimum, the YouTube channel Optimum, that British guy, and it's this little fucking goggles. I showed them to you. They're just very small, and like they go right on your eyes. They're super light, and apparently they're really fucking good, and they're really
VR
small.
for like what do you use
For
those
PC.
for? Like gaming?
Yeah, it's a VR headset. It just straps on. It's like super small, and apparently the lenses are really good.
Hmm.
And it's like $1,500, but it looks
Yeah.
pretty fucking cool.
Soon
And it's
you-
very small.
Soon you're just gonna see those like cool like steampunk goggles that are like
That's what they kind of look
VR,
like.
and you're just walking in. Oh, steampunk.
That's what they look like. I'm pretty sure. Here, let me check if I can find them here. The big screen beyond. Look at these little things.
What? How's that possible?
This is it. That's all it is.
That doesn't look comfortable at all.
Isn't that sweet?
What the hell?
That looks like
It's
what I wear
comfortable.
in Cyberpunk.
They scan your face or something, and they send you a mold of your face, so it fits
Okay,
perfectly.
That's fucking sweet, man.
Wow.
That is cyberpunk.
Yeah, then that's all they are.
Come on, and it games.
Yeah, and he said that the lenses
Those look like those jab my eyeballs.
and they come with, I guess, some little
Oh yeah.
headset thing or whatever. But like,
Damn. Look at
Look
the
at
size
this.
of
Look
that
at that.
Pimax. Oh
yeah,
my
the
god.
fly-
Sweet.
oh, yeah, he's just sitting there gaming with him. Like it shows over here. That's all, just like that.
Oh,
Looks like
damn.
he's wired into the net.
Isn't
Yeah.
that cool?
Yeah, man. That's so sick.
But yeah, he said it was one of the best experiences he's had with a headset. He heavily likes these ones, these big screen beyond. And they're like 100 or 1449 Canadian, I think.
Oh.
Yep.
Man, that's sweet.
Yeah,
Look at that
very
go.
cool. Very freaking cool. That's
The
if I
future.
were to do something like that, that's what I would want.
You have to get
Like
the
a-
whole. I haven't yet to play a really cool like racing. You have to get the whole setup for a racing game, man.
Yeah, I had it, but I wasn't. It was on Xbox, so I was like, meh. Although I could use it on PC, but I can't use it up here. It was fun to use when I was in the basement, like, but I didn't have the whole fucking thing. I just was sitting on the couch. I had it strapped to a TV table, like a TV dinner table, and it worked. I had the pedals and everything. It was fun. Anyway,
Anywho,
I remember that, I think.
Daniel, you're playing Kingdom Come.
That's it.
All
That's
right.
all I have time for.
All right. Cool. So why don't we just? Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else. Let's do
no,
it.
I don't think so.
Let's get into it here. But first, speaking of VR, a word from our VR sponsors. Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to announce an exciting new partnership with VRRock.com. Get ready to enhance your VR experience with VR Rock's protective lenses available for both prescription and non-prescription users. As a fellow VR enthusiast, I opted for their blue light canceling lenses. These lenses are designed to protect my PSVR 2's stock lenses from scuffs and scratches while helping to reduce eye strain caused by prolonged exposure to blue light during extensive VR gaming sessions. Installing VR Rock's lenses is a breeze. A simple click and a magnet snap, and you're all set for a comfortable and immersive VR adventure. The best part? Our friends at VRRock.com have a special offer for you guys, our listeners. You can head over to VR-Rock.com, that's VR-Rock.com, and by using the coupon code ELDERTROLLS on checkout, you'll enjoy an exclusive 10% discount on your order. VR-Rock.com ships worldwide, and all their products are tax-free. We extend our sincere gratitude to VR-Rock.com for supporting us and making our VR experiences safer and more enjoyable. So don't miss out. Grab your VR Rock lenses and get ready for an unforgettable gaming journey. right, we're back. And today's topic is going to be about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Okay?
Man.
Let's talk. We got like an hour and a half.
And it's a big topic. It's a big topic.
It's a big game. It's a big game.
Big game, yeah.
Developed by War Horse Studios. I keep thinking it's Iron Horse for some reason, but it's War Horse Studios.
Yes.
Published by Deep Silver. Platforms and release date is Xbox Series, consoles, PS5, GeForce Now, and Microsoft Windows. Released on February 4th, 2025.
Yes.
February 4th. Wow.
Through Steam, right? They don't have their own launcher, right?
Correct.
I just have it through Steam.
I have it through Steam as well.
There you go.
They don't. They did the same thing through the first one too. In fact, I remember even the first one going and looking at it on Steam and just waiting for it to come out. So I think that's been their big platform for PC.
It's strange though because how much Steam takes from your sales, and
I know it's crazy.
They're such a small studio. I'm
Takes
surprised they
30%,
didn't.
like, it's
I'm surprised they
nuts.
didn't go to like Epic or anything. But like that's the thing.
Wow.
If you go to Steam, it's just there's way more eyeballs, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that 30%
That's just what people
in the bigger
lose.
picture isn't like imagine you
You're
make
losing 30% of all your sales.
imagine you make what $10 million. Is that possible on a video game? Yes. How much do they make?
If they sell 1 million copies, that's
How
well more
many
than
copies?
$10 million.
Did Casey
It's like
Gates
80 million
sell?
if you sell 1 million.
So
copies
2 million copies they've sold.
at $80 pop.
Okay. Let's just say that's all on Steam. But it's not, right? Right? Times 90.
Mm-hmm.
So 180 million.
30%
What's
of that.
30%? What's 30% of that?
60 million.
Steam just gets $60 million just by having it on their platform.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, man. That's craziness.
Gabe.
Holy crap. That's crazy.
Yeah, they've been around for so long. Steam has been around for so long, and I've said it on here probably before. I'll say it again. It's not about who does
But
it
does
better.
Steam market it? Like, does
It's about
Steam
who does it first.
market those games?
No, they just put it on the front page.
Yeah,
That's
they
all
put it
they
on the
do.
front page, man. That's marketing. So, like, maybe they're not paying for so much advertising.
I'll
If
say this
Steam's
again.
gonna like,
They didn't sell 20 million on Steam. Okay. I'm just
yeah,
putting the numbers out there.
they sold
Yeah.
2.5 million copies. I think last I saw,
Wow.
which is great.
It's great.
And apparently, here's a stat for you that I saw.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but
Okay.
it was something about 50% of the
Of the
player
players
base
didn't play the
on
first
Steam. No, 50% of the players who bought it on Steam have over 50 hours in the game.
one. Oof. Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm
cool.
getting there.
That's pretty cool. So like a lot of people are like, playing
man.
it, and like they're really playing it, and they're playing it and playing it and playing it and playing it because it's so good. They're
It's
just
so
hooked on it.
And I wonder, compared to the first game, what that stat is like. Because I'm trying to remember if there was if it's outperforming. You know what I mean? Like maybe people stop playing the first one pretty quickly, I wonder.
Yeah. I
After,
can see that.
Yeah, it
You
was
know?
pretty hard.
It was pretty hard and it was janky and it had a lot of love. You
So
could
good,
tell there
though.
was a lot of love, but there was sometimes you're just like, I got to take a break from this. It's frustrating
Yeah.
me.
I played it for 50 hours
Yeah,
right
it's
before
60.
playing the new one.
Well, I played for 20 hours and then I played for 40 when I came back and finally finished it.
Yeah,
That's
same.
the
I had
first one.
25 hours in my first play
Okay.
on Xbox.
So since we're into this, how about preconceptions? Like, after playing and beating the first one, it kind of left me like wanting, like I finished the first one. I was like, okay, it was good, right? It was really good, but it could have been so much better.
Yeah. I didn't like
And-
some of the controls in the first one.
Yeah.
It was a little weird in the first one. It wasn't like a typical like FPS controls. You remember? The left joystick in the first game for some reason was used as walk forward, but turn, not strafe.
Oh, I don't
Turn.
remember that.
It was very fucking weird. Very awkward, especially while running.
Are you sure?
Yes, I just played it and
you were on PC with the controller?
with the controller.
I
So
don't
you
remember
run
that at
forward with
all.
left stick, but turning is also left stick. It's like playing fucking N64. It was so strange.
Oh,
Yeah, I
don't-
did not. I
maybe-
hated it, and they fixed it in the second. I was like, thank God they just gave it.
What
like
did the right
normal-
stick do? Now I'm all fucked up.
The right stick, it looked around, but you couldn't do it. Sorry, no, the right stick was strafe. Yeah, the right stick was strafe. It was fucking weird.
But yeah,
I don't know. I do not remember that being the case. That
Yeah.
I'm sure I
was
would
weird.
have. I don't know.
I just
Maybe
played
that
it,
was a
that's all. I
PC
have it
thing.
in my notes. I wrote it down.
so coming from the first one, what would you guys like? Controllers, the controls, obviously. Like, what
Better
were
controls.
you expecting
Jonathan.
them to step it up? Like, what were you
Um,
wanting?
I
I-
wanted obviously more, just more. I guess in this generation with new consoles, I was like, well, I'm really curious what they're doing with the graphics on new gen. Obviously, that's going to be number one
Yeah, I was very curious as well.
because they were great in the first game, but it was just like,
It was
You know,
really
after
good,
I-
the first game.
but after I played it on like my 1080p Samsung TV on Xbox One X or whatever, I was like, this kind of looks like shit, and so it sucks that it's not.
They didn't
I
get
don't
any
know, it looked-
patches, right? They didn't
yeah.
get any next gen patches for like PS5.
I also just
No,
wanted
true.
more adventure. I wanted more of a kind of like random events, more of those. Like, oh, what the fuck is happening right here if I go over here? And I just kind of a little bit more intrigue in that sense. Like, and I hate to always compare it to Elder Scrolls,
Well,
and
it's the
Oblivion,
game.
but that's the standard. For open
Or
world
Witcher 3.
or Witcher 3. Yeah, just kind of like anything can happen out there.
Yeah, Witcher
the
3, there was
wilds.
a lot
Witcher
more,
3,
though.
it was
Yeah,
like
Witcher
this.
3 was
When I was playing Henry, I kept going and like comparing it to Witcher 3 constantly, like all the time, And Witcher 3 is just such a masterpiece of a game that you have to like. It's like, do I like this more than Witcher 3? Is this open world better than Witcher 3's open world? How they did it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I still
I've
haven't
made
beat
some points later on what I was comparing to, but
I don't think it really compares to Witcher 3
Yeah.
and random events and
Yeah, no, that was
like,
just king.
things on the map. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's-
definitely not. That's
we'll
what
get, we'll get
Witcher
into
3's
that.
thing
Yeah,
was.
we'll get into that a little bit later with the environment. I think it's what do I have down here? Like gameplay and environments or whatever. Is that it, Daniel? What else did you want?
Yeah, that's what comes to mind first.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just wanted everything tightened up. Like I was like less jank. I was like just like clean everything around. Like the fighting, I definitely wanted a little bit easier. I wanted it more accessible on the fighting because in the first one I would just avoid it.
Souls pro? A Souls like pro gamer, bro?
But this is different. It's a completely different fighting. I've never had a fighting system like this. Okay, the first one was hard and it was very like unforgiving. Where just the way you have to control.
It was
your
hard
sword
to
and shit.
hit anything,
Yes.
to get hits in the first one. Like I was just getting blocked all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
all the
man,
time.
holy jeez.
all the time. So I was like, oh man, I hope they just make it a little bit more relaxed.
That's
And I
actually
was like-
why I switched to blunt weapons in the first one. It was just
Yeah.
because the blunt weapon just seems like you couldn't really block it as much as like parrying a sword in the first one. That's why. But in the second one, I just went swords.
Yes, so did I. And another thing I wanted was just a little bit more lax on the alchemy, which we'll get into a little bit later. The first one, the alchemy it took so long to make a potion, and it was like, and I was like, oh, and I didn't want to go make potions.
It's like sunlight when you go in, like it's daylight, and then you leave and
Yeah.
it's evening.
Hey man, you got to work at your craft. You got to become a master.
Yeah.
An
So
apprentice.
that was pretty much all I wanted. Like I just wanted a cleaner KCD one, a cleaner, more robust.
Yeah, I wasn't
experience.
really sure. Like, I liked the first one so much. Like, obviously the controls were a bit weird for me, but like, other than that, I was like, how can they make this game better? Like, it's really good.
It's really good.
Like, it's really good already. I mean, it's a little janky, so yeah, clean up the jank a little, but the graphics are going to be better. Hopefully the systems in it aren't going to change too much because they're really good, but
Mhm.
maybe just improve on them. But that's all I was really thinking. I didn't expect like anything too different because you still want it to be
A gem. Like the first one was a sick game. It was a gem.
You know what I mean? So
But
like,
stuff held it
I hope it's just more adventures and more quests and more stories, kind of in
Yeah.
the same systems and the same thing.
I
Kind of
think
like the Spider-Man games. It's the same.
That was my
fucking game.
biggest. Yeah. That was my
Just
biggest,
new
like, just
story.
more story, and I don't mean in terms of the main story. I just mean give me more of them, because I just didn't find the first game challenging to the point where I was like, I hope they changed that. Like, I didn't care about that. What I cared most about was that after I kind of played through the game, I was just sort of bored. Like, there was nothing else to be done, as far as I know. I probably said this before, but maybe I missed some side quests somewhere. I don't know, but I think that I'm already getting a sense from the second game that there's just more, because they have those little, quest or like intrigue markers or whatever, or like information or some shit. I don't know what you call it.
Oh yeah. Those are like quest tipsters.
Tipsters,
Right.
yeah.
And I feel like there's been a lot of them, and I'm like, oh, there seems to be a lot more I can do here in this game that's kind of waiting for me to do compared to the first one. Everything in the first one just felt sort of barren after I was done. I was like, okay, what now, kind of thing. But I never really want to feel that in a game. There might be some of that, and that's okay, because like there's still lots of other things to do. But
Well, what if you
I never
finished
really.
everything in the game?
Well, I mean, like, and I think I did. At least I feel like I did, because I remember doing side quests. So maybe that's what my issue was. And I was like, I just hope there's tons to keep us busy in the second game in terms of more stories that I can get immersed in, and more things to go and do, like those adventures.
Yeah.
Cool. So, whenever you heard KCD2 was a thing, okay, like big hype, yeah, I was ready to go.
Well, yeah. Obviously, we've been
Watching
hyping
the
this up for
trailers.
a while.
Yeah, watching the trailers, the game looked like amazing in the trailers for KCD2. So, like, we knew it was going to look freaking great.
Yeah, and I didn't finish the first one at that point even, and I was like, oh shit, I got to go back and finish that, because like I don't know why I just fell off playing that game. I don't even remember why. Maybe something else came out, and I was playing on Xbox though, so maybe I wasn't really playing my Xbox that much. And then I replayed it on PC. But yeah, I mean, I should have just played it. But even if I feel like it was in 2017,
One
the
of
first
those.
one, I mean, it warrants a playthrough again, probably. So I just started over.
Yeah. And I ripped through it. It was
Yeah.
sweet.
No, it's just like, this is excellent. Excellent.
And it's crazy. We went from the KCD1 I played like 60 hours KCD1, and then I went to KCD2 like right after. Like I ended
me
it,
too.
and then I had like 2 weeks of break, and then I went into KCD2. I read they upped the development team from around 100. At the end of KCD1, there was 100 people working on it, and then it went up to about 250 on KCD2.
At the beginning of KCD1, there was only
like
11 people.
Yeah, what the
An 11-person team to start the development of that game. Which is pretty
Kickstarter?
sweet. That's pretty sick. Oh, Dan, were you a Kickstarter?
No,
A backer?
because I didn't know. I think it was back when it was all new to me, so I didn't know what the hell any of that was. So I was like, "The fuck's Kickstarter?" And I was in like university during res when I heard about it. So like, all I was thinking about was like school, and I was busy all the time, so I wasn't thinking. Plus, I didn't exactly have the money to go donate to a game.
Yeah,
Maybe I
you
should
had already given all your money to Star Citizen at that point.
Yeah, and I
It's been
still
out
have
since they
nothing
started
for it.
Kickstarter.
But no, I did not kickstart. That would have been cool though. I wish I did, because then I could have been like, I was an original. I believed in them.
Yeah.
But the first day I bought the game, I did. So that was kind of me being like, I'm backing this 100%, especially after watching all their videos about how they're researching.
Yeah, man,
and how they're modeling all the
remember all
armor
that,
and
yeah.
all the weapons.
Yes, they did. They did that for number 2. They had this massive featurette where Henry and Capon, the actors,
Yeah,
brought you through.
toured around Warhorse Studios. kind of thing.
Or the city that it's based on.
Yeah.
I think they went to Prague and they got all the architecture down. They were showing us
That's
all
sweet.
these
Why
videos.
haven't I not watched these yet?
Man, it was
Fuck's sake.
amazing. It was amazing how they recorded like the horse galloping through like the streets and
That's
all this
sweet.
kind of sweet. So that really started pumping me up. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good. This is gonna
Cool.
be so good. So did you guys beat it? I beat it. I beat KCD2.
Yep.
Jonathan has
No.
beaten it. Daniel has not. So we
No.
kind of mentioned that earlier. This is going to be a non-spoiler cast.
I
How many-
beat it, and I'm pretty sure I did most of the side quests because there was not much left, like nothing left on my map.
Did you go back to
Except
the old
for-
map?
Yeah,
to check it out?
I did. I finished one. I think I only had one quest there,
Oh, okay.
but like the only quests I didn't do were like the hand-to-hand combat fighting kind of ring quests. And
Oh, okay.
I didn't care about that stuff. But those are the only ones that I didn't do. So I did everything, and I have 97 hours in.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So, I beat it around 80. Yeah, around 90, like high 80s. But then I kept playing it for another like 15 hours. So I think about around 100 hours maybe right now. And I still pop in, do a couple of quest lines, and then I'll pop out, check the new mods, check the mods out, and then I'll pop in.
Yes, they're still updating it too. They added a hardcore mode this.
I want to try
week.
that so bad.
Yeah, that's the new patch. I have not played since that, though, so I don't have it installed. Did they fix anything else? Texture load-ins?
I don't know.
No performance notes that I read. Yeah, so the story, let's hit the story here, the synopsis. So the official poster synopsis. Ready? Set amid the chaos of a medieval civil war, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a gripping tale of revenge, betrayal, and discovery. Embark on an epic journey from a humble blacksmith's forge to the court of kings.
Mm-hmm.
From bustling city streets to lush forests, discover this open-world medieval Europe through an unforgettable adventure filled with action, thrill, and wonder.
That's bang on.
I'd say that's pretty accurate, even in my roughly 40 hours.
It's everything. Everything is correct.
Yeah, everything's correct.
Although it says from the blacksmith, to the court of kings. That happens in the first one. The blacksmith, you're not a blacksmith since the very beginning of the first game.
Right.
I'd say you're more of a blacksmith in the second game.
Yeah, because you actually can learn blacksmithing.
Yeah,
you can learn the crafting. There was no crafting in the first game.
Also, I would have liked it to say,
don't think
continue
so.
the story of Henry.
Yeah. It's like a full story, right? It's like it's a continuation, is it not? Like a direct continuation.
So,
I mean,
the next question. Can you play this game without playing KCD1? I say, well, yes.
Yes, because at the beginning, they do go through the events of prior in a little quest line. They do it in a little quest line. They ask you, remember? They say, oh, do you remember what happened there? And you can say...
And you can choose to relive it.
Yeah, you can choose and say, oh, yeah, I remember that, which I did because I literally just played it. But you can say no, and then they'll be like, oh, well, then this happened. And they'll it'll be like dialogue that tells the story of what happened. So you don't need to, but I mean, I don't know. I would love to say to go play the first game, but it's a long one.
Yeah, but
when you can just jump into the second one, it being so good, I'm inclined to say just kind of play the second one, maybe. I don't know.
What's great about the first one is you get connected to Henry and,
that's the
Capon and like the characters.
Yes,
you get connected to them, and then you're wanting to see more of Henry and when the second one came along, you're like, oh, Henry.
Yeah, Henry and Godwin and Capon, like you get to like love the characters. So yeah, it's tough to miss the first one. It's tough to miss out on the first one, but the second one being so good, like jumping into it is you don't get the impact, I guess, on some of the moments. Maybe you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like when you see Godwin and when you see the other characters. I would say that would be the main thing.
They don't. What are you saying?
I think it's cool. I mean, like if you play the first game, you're attached to Henry, and it's just cool because when you load up the second game, you're like, oh, he's back. Like it's time. You're back with that.
Because it's like right after the first one. Like it's like days.
Yeah. See, I don't really have any real memory of because it's been so long since I beat the first one. So I just jumped into the second one, and that's how I felt even more. So I was like, oh yeah, Henry's back. It's time for the adventures now. So, and I didn't even play because there was an expansion or a couple from the first, or DLCs, whatever you want to call them, from the first game, like the Adventures of Hans Capon. So there were more quests involved with him. So I wish I played those because then it would have sort of cemented their relationship a little bit more, their friendship. So I didn't have those, but it was nice to just kind of feel like you're back. I don't know. I think somebody asked me this already, if you need to play the first one, but I think it's just nice always to have context. And technically there are a couple details, especially with the plot twists from the first one that are referenced in the second one, and you might be like, wait, what? Who the fuck is that? Or what does that mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I don't know. To enjoy the second game as a game, I don't think it's necessary to play the first one. I just think if you're a big story guy and you want to know who is who, of the Kingdom Come world, then it's probably a good idea. But will it still hold up playing the first one, graphic wise? I don't know. Maybe
Again,
on PC, but
yeah, but like you said, who's who? It's the impact of like when you see some of the characters that they bring back again, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like, oh shit, he's back,
Yeah.
he's here.
So just
But you wouldn't know.
yeah,
otherwise.
exactly.
yeah. So just to cover it, so Lord Hans Capon is a lord of a
Puckstein.
Lord of Puckstein. He is the nephew to. Is he a king? He's not a
He's
king.
a nephew.
He's like a duke or something. Nephew to a high noble.
Nephew to a noble lord.
A noble lord. Yeah.
Puckstein Castle.
And Henry ends up as his like squire, bodyguard
From the first one.
Yeah. And that's how they get kind of acquainted, and the friendship grows. And it's funny because how Hans treats Henry. Right?
In the first one, yeah.
In the first one, yeah, he's a fucking asshole in the first one. But yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the story of the new one, they didn't really give much of the story.
Exactly. In the synopsis, they didn't really give much.
No, they didn't give much of the story. But it's like you start the game going to a castle in a kind of a new map, a new area, neighboring kind of kingdom, neighboring area of Bohemia, I guess. But you're just going to deliver a message. Because it is about a civil war. It's about the war between the followers of King Sigismund, who was the Hungarian king, the king's Wenceslas's brother, who came in and kidnapped him and took over Bohemia. Right? This Sigismund.
I think so.
He was a king in Hungary, and he came into Bohemia, kidnapped his brother because he was a drunk and he wasn't a real king, and he thought that he could rule better than him. But Wenceslas had followers that were loyal to him, and it's about them, you being one of them, kind of rising up and trying to get Sigismund out,
gather
and
forces,
getting Wenceslas back, and getting King Wenceslas back on the throne. So that's basically what it's about, and all the intricacies of that, because there's a lot of political kind of intrigue and drama in the storyline as well, with the two kings and the lords and the noblemen. It's because back then peasants were just fucking dirt. Like you can't read, you can't do anything.
Yeah,
you
couldn't
did
do
your
shit.
job and didn't do nothing. Like you're not even allowed to look at like noblemen. You know what I mean? And Henry used to be like some little peasant boy in the first one.
Yeah.
And then he's now
little,
rubbing
haircut.
shoulders. Yeah. Now he's rubbing shoulders and he's almost a knight, basically. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's really cool. It's really cool to see the journey. That's another reason why you should play the first one also. It's about the journey from being a dirty bitch boy peasant to becoming basically a nobleman.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
A rags to riches, medieval
Yes,
rags to riches
definitely.
story.
It is a rags to riches story. I would say that.
Okay, that's the story. Now, we've talked about a lot of things over the past few episodes, and we've dived in and we've covered some things, and we dive out, we dive in. So we might say or repeat ourselves a bit here with some of these points, but let's hit about the graphics. Okay, the graphics in this game are the best I've seen for a very long time. I haven't played what's it called, Senua's Sacrifice
Or Alan Wake 2.
or Alan Wake 2, but man, these graphics for an open world game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
for an open world game.
Not
for
running
an open world game.
Not running Unreal Engine 5. Okay. It's beautiful. No ray tracing.
Just doesn't need it. I don't think it needs it whatsoever.
But like
In its
all
current
these
state.
all these games that you're like, "Oh man, it looks so good." It's either Unreal Engine 5, right, or it's got some kind of ray trace lighting or something going on. But this game goes back to basics, and it's just pure, like, it's so good. It looks so friggin' good.
Yeah, and it runs
Yeah.
fucking really good too.
Yeah. Another thing that really caught my eye was the amount of foliage. Foliage?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of forest,
There's so
a lot
much.
of grass, trees, a lot of forests.
And
It's
it
the
doesn't look like
countryside.
paper grass. Like, it looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the
it's-
wheat fields that you walk through the wheat fields or you're going into the forest. The foliage is so rich and thick.
Foliage.
Foliage.
Yeah.
But man, like you look at it, how does this not cripple my computer? Like all this grass. Remember when you put, oh, I don't need grass. Put the grass down. You know?
Yeah, like back in the
That
like
you don't need to do
Oblivion.
that now. In this game, you don't need to do that because they knew like to really capture that the kingdom vibe of the hills and the fields, right? You need to see this kind of stuff, and it shines. It's so amazing. Amazing.
How much photography do you have of it?
Quite a bit. There is no real photo mode. It's just like the bare bones photo mode where it just stops and it's a take a picture. That's it. There's no.
I didn't even know it existed until halfway
exactly.
through the game.
There is a
I haven't
mod.
even used
There
it.
is a mod where it detaches the camera, so you can go anywhere you want with the camera. You can keep going until the game crashes. Like you can go into space and the game will just crash. So there's like you could take the camera, keep going up and up and up and up, and then you can see how far you can see in the kingdom. And it's super detailed still. Like it blows my mind. You can see like the castles in the distance, and the grass is still there, and the trees blowing. It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
I think the draw distance is a really big one, especially granted everything like how good everything looks like when you look into the distance and you see like all the rows of forests and like the hills. You're just like that. It looks, I don't know what it is, but they put some sort of haze over it that really looks.
The depth of field, maybe.
I guess it's a.
depth
Yeah, I
of
don't
field.
know.
Like the focusing. They have a nice focus
Kinda?
in the game, yeah.
Kind of, but it's just like, I don't know. It's some of the nicest I've seen. When you look into the distance, you can generally, if you see kind of unrendered shit or whatever, it just kind of pulls you out a little bit. But when you're looking in, like you see those rolling hills and you see little farmhouses and hedgerows and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's just, it doesn't seem, it seems really clean.
Yeah, when I was walking in like one of the castles I don't remember where I was.
Probably with the maiden and the.
I don't remember the first castle that
Yeah.
you're in. I remember walking by a window when I was up in a tower, and I like saw like a house just passing by the window. Through it, I saw it way down and like fields over, a little house, a little farmhouse with like some hills, and I like stopped and I looked out the window and I was just like, man, that is sweet, because I can just go down there and check it out after. If I see something from up here,
Yeah, you could
you
go
wanna
and
go-
reach that.
you go check it out after it. And I was like, and it looks so nice. I was just like sitting there, "Oh, maybe I'll take a picture of this somehow." And I tried to get a shot of like that view out the window while you still see some of the foreground that it is a window and kind of the nice view out. But I didn't know there was a photo mode at that time. So I was like, there's fucking UI in the way and all this shit. So I couldn't do it. But now that I know, yeah, you can obviously probably go back and get some shots, some good
Oh, yeah.
shots.
I did take quite a few. They're up on our like Blue Sky and in the Discord. But the stuff that made me really stop and look and take it in, believe it or not, wasn't like the sprawling fields or the hills or the rock cliffs looking over the many ponds or rivers.
It was the bathhouse.
Yes. Well, that, and it was like the buildings, like the stonework, you know, like
The cathedrals and
the
stuff.
cathedrals,
The monastery.
even the shitty houses, like just the details on the rocks and like the doors and the wood, like the grain on the wood, all the details were in it. It was so friggin' good. So I took a photo of this one. It was just muck. Like there was muck in the village, and there was a carriage, like a broken down carriage, and like a shitty farmhouse, but it was so beautifully lit.
Mm-hmm.
And like the time of day with the sun hitting the muck and the side
Yeah.
of the house. Oh my God, man.
So yeah, there's different times of day. There's a calendar, a clock, a 24-hour
Yeah.
clock.
Yeah, and
But
when
you
it
can
rains, you see the puddles like filling up with water and like the raindrops in the muck. It blew my freaking mind how beautiful this game looks. And you have to
Mhm.
stop and you just have to freaking take it in because it's so good.
Yeah. So I played on 4K Ultra, no upscaling, 4K native, ultra quality, and I was getting over 60 FPS, like consistently, everywhere, which is 4K 60.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultra quality. It's not easy to do. Like, you don't see that a lot, but this game just did it. Even on my older computer, this one, on my 3080, 2K, Ultra, well over 60 FPS. Crazy.
Daniel, anything that made you stop to look?
Well, there was something that I had written here, which was the inclement weather. Like when it starts raining, there's this really cool thing that happens where
It's hard to
if you are,
see.
yeah, when you're like out and it's pouring rain, you've got this like veil of
Mist
like
or something.
yeah, it's like that haze, that veil of rain, and you're just like, oh shit, and you're across this pond. And then I remember I stopped and I had one of those random encounters on the road when I was fast traveling, and it was like, there's two guys on the road and they haven't seen you yet. And I don't know if it's like they're up to no good or something. So I stopped because I was like, well, I think a 30% chance to pass them or something. So I was like, oh, okay, well, here we go. So I stopped and I was like, oh shit, there they are. I see them. And they're just like these obscure figures in the mist, right? And like on the road with the woods. And it was kind of getting dark. It wasn't middle of the day. So twilight was kind of slowly seeping in, and they were just standing there. And I'm assuming that they were, I think I heard some sort of scuffle or something. Like, they were fighting with maybe a merchant or
yeah, they probably like mugging a merchant.
Yeah. So they're just sitting there, and I was like, shit. So that's when I took out my crossbow and I kind of just started to do that thing. But it was just really cool because it added that kind of environment, added this mystery to the encounter as opposed to me just seeing the guys there and be like, okay.
And you could
time
sneak
to engage.
around them too when it's raining because you'll make less noise in the rain.
They can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was pouring. But I chose to just kind of like go for it, and it was really cool because it just added to the drama. So that's just something that sticks out. But there was also a couple, just the lighting is incredible. Like during the day when it's like full sunlight. I think there's in the first town, like Zhelov, where you start, there's like this really cool, and I've come across it a couple times, and that's why I'm saying it, but there's this farm in Zhelov where I don't know, there's like this really nice tree in the property and like a little alley next to a fence, and I was like struck one time because I went in there to, I don't know where I was going. It was some pathway. And I was like, holy fuck, like the lighting coming in on this tree, and like there was a little wood shed in the property in the backyard. And I was just like, wow, like this just looks real.
Yeah.
Without needing Unreal Engine 5 or whatever.
One thing, there's no HDR on PC, which was a bit of a fucking, like, how did they not put HDR on the PC? Ugh, that was sad.
You know what, though? They included ultra-wide support, which was nice.
Yes, that's fine. That's great. But HDR, hello?
Yeah. In a game like that?
Yeah. And on console, I'm sure it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it looked
in
pretty cool.
HDR.
Issues I've had with the graphics or whatever, sometimes if I had the shadows on medium or high, they have like flicker. They're flickering and like dancing around. That annoyed me so much. So like I had to have the shadows on ultra or experimental for it to like stop dancing and flickering around.
Because I had that issue as well. A lot of flickering shadows, but I also had a weird kind of glitching on edges, like
like on the stonework
edges. Yeah, but I don't think it's the game because Pam was playing Skyrim the other day, and I saw it in that, and I was like, maybe it's something in my TV.
No,
because no, but it was in Skyrim too. And it was the exact same thing. So I'm like, what is that? Is it my graphics card? Is it the TV? So what I did is because I have my TV at 144 hertz.
Okay, yeah.
So maybe it's that. So I put it down to 120, and I haven't noticed it in Avowed yet. Maybe it's that, but again, I haven't played Henry again to check. But yeah, there was some weird things that like camera issues and dialogue scenes as well, where it wouldn't be focused on who's talking.
Yes, yeah.
Or they'll be completely gone and they're invisible.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're just like, who's talking right now? And the guy's completely not even there. And it just like is out of focus and like...
That happened quite a bit.
Looking at someone else. So that was a bit weird. Couple of bugs like that. But other than that, mostly ran like a dream.
Speaking of running like a dream, performance quickly. At the beginning, when they released the game, it ran amazingly for a while, and then they released the patch, their first big patch, and I don't know what they did. I think they like either up the shadow density or something, or like the environment density or the foliage.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple episodes ago. Yeah, there was a noticeable performance,
Like
kinda
20
hit
FPS hit. It was hard. It was a
after
hard hit.
one of the patches,
And
after
all
patch
the
of
Steam reviews, everyone was talking
yeah,
about it.
everyone noticed.
Reddit was talking about it, like definitely noticeable. And since then, they haven't addressed it or like patched it back.
Someone
So,
found a way to fix it though. No,
yeah, it was
there was
either
it was a weird setting, like shadows or something, or was it grass or shadows?
it was both. You had to put both under like high or something like that, or at
Oh, okay.
high. You couldn't use ultra shadows or ultra environment details or something like that, or it would just tank.
Mm.
But when I did that, my shadow started dancing again. I was like, I can't have that.
Oh no,
So that was a bit of a bummer, but
I was already like 90 hours into the game at
Yeah.
that point, so I finished it. But it's unfortunate for anyone listening that may not have played it. Maybe
it still ran.
it's still
better.
fine. Like it was running at like 50 FPS,
Yeah.
or 55
So
instead of like my normal like 65, 70.
Yeah, and I had to play it, and then at the end, I actually did a mixture of settings. It wasn't because I was in an experimental for everything, and I was getting like 60 FPS at 2K ultra wide. Like it's ridiculous. And we've learned that 2K ultra wide is almost as many pixels as 4K. So
That's true. It's very close.
it's very close. So it takes quite a bit to run the 2K ultra wide. So in the end,
Which is why I was shocked that my 3080 was
Yeah.
doing it.
that's crazy. That's ridiculous. But in the end, I was doing a mixture of high ultra, I think. No experimental, unfortunately, but that's for pixel peepers, you know.
Yeah, we're
You're
talking
not gonna-
pixel peeper stuff here. We're
Yeah.
talking about nerdy stuff here, but
But
let's,
I never enabled upscaling.
we're losing our console gamers here,
Yeah.
Daniel.
Okay.
Stay with us, fucking peasants. Let's go. Just stay with us.
But yeah, performance for PC was good. It was better, but is good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right, what's next?
Next, Sound of Music. So I don't have much to say about this. I rarely play with my headphones on because I need to keep the ear out for the baby.
I never
So-
did.
I was playing mostly on a sound bar on my TV or a sound bar on my PC here, so I didn't really get the full like audio experience. But from the music I did hear, I really enjoyed, like in the taverns and
Yeah.
just like the title track and all that kind of stuff. I really liked. But I'm open to hear what you guys have to say. Daniel, did you play with a lot of your headphones?
I have several times played with the headphones, and my headphones aren't great. The Xbox ones sound very boxy and like boomy and kind of dull, and like there's no top end. So I can't really talk too much about the sound effects and like other than what I can make out from what I hear. The music is great. Some of it's awesome. Some of it's really beautiful, but it's just funny whenever they use the medieval instruments and you get this extremely like comical kind of sound. But I guess it makes sense because they're going for the exactly. They're going for that kind of thing, I guess, because the game is quirky and they definitely, if they're gonna go for all the realism everywhere else, they're gonna be like, well, how can we use period instruments, which don't really have a place in like, you know, more modern symphonic stuff, especially in like media like movies and games and shit. So it's just funny because it just makes it sound like a sort of a dated medieval sim or something. You know what I mean? Which is really funny. But props to the composer because like I would have wanted to do that thing. I would have wanted to do that as well. But yeah, I love the music. And they are still using that system that they invented for the first one, I think, which is where there's a really cool sort of seamless transition into when the music has to change for an environment or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love that it gives you a cue because as soon as you know there
There's
might
a
be
little
danger
hostile.
around,
The danger, it
and
kind
you
of goes
hear-
silent, a little bit
it's a lot
quieter,
more
and
tension.
then like, yes, tension.
So there's that. But, you know, I don't know what it is. Every time I pause the game, the music gets very loud though with all the choir, and I'm like, holy fuck, man! I have to like mute it because it's just like this, just blasting you with like this, like this choir, and I'm like, okay, all right.
That.
Like I would prefer the menu music to be just a little bit more, you know, chill.
I played on the TV speakers, so that's all I was using. This is one thing like I didn't have like if it was on PS5, if I had played on PS5, I would have had it downstairs on the home theater, with the PS5 on the OLED and the home theater. So it probably would have maybe sounded and looked, I don't know about looked better, probably not looked better, but with the HDR on the OLED, it might have been a little bit better. But yeah, in terms of the sound, I didn't really notice much. Like the music is fun. It fits perfectly to what it needs to do. Yeah. So,
all right. But the sound design is great because again, these guys are taking into account what actual plate armor sounds like when it's hit with a mace. When it's
you're
hit with
like
a
moving, when you're moving, you're rustling, you're carrying all this plate armor, so your noise stat is high, and you can hear yourself rustling jingling with plate armor. Or the fucking blacksmithing.
Oh,
pink,
oh yeah,
pink,
yeah, that's a great sound.
Love that sound.
Just beauty. Depending on where you hit it.
Chainmail if you're wearing chainmail, but you can't hear it if you're not hearing it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like if you have plate legs on and you're running, you can hear that that kind of thing. But if you take them off, you don't hear that. So I just love how specific it is. And the biggest one for me is whenever you're sheathing a sword or, drawing it, it's just steel against leather. Because that's all it is. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but if you've ever looked at like period accurate Middle Ages sheaths for swords, they're just leather tubes.
Yeah. What else?
That fit snugly. There's no like, there's not this glorious like Wayne's World swing, that resounding like ringing of steel. That does not happen
in the pocket.
Yeah, which is stupid because then you're just grinding metal on metal. It makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So all you would hear is that soft kind of, which is really cool because it even, you can hear a little suction, which is cool because it's like, if you're a stealthy kind of player, that even adds a little bit of a like a sonic kind of intrigue there, which is cool because you're just slowly. But yeah, that's all it sounds like. So I really love that because again, that's striking the nerd, the geek, medieval geek in me. But the sound of plate armor being struck, it's not
I love the crumpling when you're hammering someone's face in.
It's not like Skyrim. Whenever you attack someone, you just hear this like gushing of like blood. It's like, like it doesn't sound like it just sounds like a crunch or like a tap, just a kind of thing because like that's probably what it would sound like. So I don't know. I love that in terms of sound design, and they're using these specific armors and recording those armors being hit with those specific like weapon configurations. I think that's so cool.
Yep. All right. Next, we're gonna get into the characters and the acting. This is amazing. This game shines in this department. The characters are amazing. Henry and his band of heroes were hilarious. I don't know if Daniel's got to the part where he's...
Oh, yeah, maybe not, because that's pretty late in the... Yeah. Well, it depends how much of the main story...
Daniel, did you get to the tavern with the group of heroes, the wider group?
The Dry Devil yet?
Yeah, the Dry Devil. Did you meet him yet?
Okay. I don't think so.
So...
Really? So, yeah,
okay,
wow.
So when you get to this... There's a band of not heroes, but a band of people that you like have to collect, and then you continue the story with these people. They are so fucking amazing.
Yeah,
they're fantastic, hilarious. The voice acting, you're gonna hate Dry Devil's voice, by the way. Just a heads up.
And his face,
and his voice is disgusting. It's so, but man, the acting is so good.
Yeah, the voice and they're like this European actors is just so fucking good.
Yeah, there's the one you can't understand what the hell he's saying half the time. I can't remember his name.
There's one guy who just speaks Polish. He doesn't speak English. He's just like always talking to the one guy in Polish, and he's like, and everyone just knows what he's saying. It's fucking hilarious.
But Henry and Capon are top notch. The voice acting is like amazing. Yeah. It's so good. While the others in the group they're very funny. They're very good also.
All the like older noblemen, they're just really good.
Oh yeah, like the noblemen, the lords when they get the lords.
It's just the excellent voice.
Excellent voice acting. Like you don't get excellent voice acting in video games much anymore. I don't know if that's that's an American. They're not even American. They're
these guys are all European,
Eastern, like European or whatever. But like Japanese games to English voice, they're all terrible.
Mhm.
right? Like if they're like a Japanese game, they're like, okay, we need some people to do some English acting. It's awful every time. It's brutal, and I fucking hate it. But this game is a bar. It's like Witcher 3 voice acting. Okay, like it's amazing. It's so good. So that's the thing I was comparing to. I was like Geralt in Witcher 3 with Yennefer and all them. Like that was amazing. This is like up there.
Cyberpunk too.
Cyberpunk, yeah, same kind of thing. This is up there. I think this is better than Cyberpunk.
It's better than Cyberpunk. Yeah. It is better than Cyberpunk.
Better than Cyberpunk's voice acting and like acting and just like the awareness of the characters. I think this is better than Cyberpunk. But
there were some things. We'll go back to audio. There were some things that didn't really fit, like outside dialogue. I could hear like room reverb for some reason, and when we were outside, so there was kind of some of that stuff. I was just like, yeah, well, that doesn't really sound right. I can hear
I must
this
have got
guy's.
in there and
I can hear this guy's
cranked
echo.
up the reverb.
Yeah, I can hear this guy's reverb in the room that he's in recording, and we're outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I should not hear that.
Weird. I haven't
some
noticed.
weird things like that, but it wasn't too often. Like
Yeah, but
just
like
some.
Even like the characters, like the villagers that are walking down the street that you can just talk to, even their voice actors were great. Like just like random, like the innkeepers, you know?
Yeah.
Go to the tipsters and they're just like, oh yeah, and their accents were
Yeah.
they were
There's some
great,
weird
man.
accents, like the friggin' lady at the tavern in the one, I don't remember what town it is, but it was just the strangest accent. And I don't know if it's like they're recycling voice actors, so they have them make up some weird accent for this character, and you know what I mean? So they can't really tell it's the same thing, but there were some weird ones. There were some weird accents anyway.
Very cool. I loved it. I just loved the acting. Loved it.
Yep. Top notch.
The romances, I don't want to get too deep into that, but there's an NPC. I don't know, maybe
It's not much. It's not much of one.
And it's only like certain NPCs, I think, right? You can't just go marry a tavern wench.
No.
Now, I wish you could. That would have been great.
Imagine.
Okay. Or the bathhouse.
Imagine there were just like a
whores.
select a wench in every town that you could
That would've been great.
possibly. That would have been fucking hilarious.
But there's one female character I tried very hard. Okay. And never happened. So I don't know if you were able to or not. I never dug into it. But
Wait, really?
I always chose like the correct.
I did.
I always chose I thought I always chose
I know who
the
you're talking
correct-
about.
The correct things, and it never happened. I was pretty bummed. about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, man. How could you?
Damn.
How could you do that?
I'll have to go replay hardcore mode.
Hardcore mode.
Sex mode. Yeah.
Hardcore sex mode.
So I didn't want to go too into that, but now that I know, that kind of bothers me now because I'm pretty sure I selected all the right stuff in the conversations.
There's a couple times where you just get a little action. Get a little action.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Oh,
fucking...
Daniel, did you do the wedding yet? So you did the wedding?
No.
What?
No, I caught up on all my side quests before.
okay.
Because
I want a
in the
good
wedding-
like
Yeah,
session
the wedding.
to do that.
So the
What is
wedding is for the listeners. The wedding is like the point in the game where you move on to the next area, the next map.
Right. That's what
But
I
there's
figured.
always these posts on Reddit. It's like, oh, I have all this and all this. Didn't even go to the wedding yet.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
kept like making these posts.
It's true. I haven't gone to the wedding yet. I have a lot
But
of
there's
shit.
a girl at the wedding where
Yeah,
you can
there's-
dance with, right? You dance with her, and she's a terrible dancer. And she's like stepping on your toes. And what's so fucking funny is your health bar, every time she steps on your toes, your health bar goes down a little bit. My little fucking, I died laughing. I was like, stop stepping on my toes. And she's like, and Henry's like, ow. Oh, and you can see his health bar go down. Fucking funny.
That's great.
It was a good
I
quest.
love that.
Very
It was
fun.
very awesome.
This game has that tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, and I think that if they didn't have that in this, it wouldn't be half the game that it is. So I love that, but I just find that like talking to people in general just makes me so fucking furious playing this game because no matter what you do, no matter what I do, I always end up failing like my charisma shit. And that's fine because I don't need to do that. I don't need to
You
play
gotta
that
steal
way.
some
But
finer clothes, friend.
it's either I'm forced to get angry with people and intimidate them, and then somehow that will fail, even though I have like the highest points in that because of my build or skills or whatever. Or I end up having to bribe someone and like pay someone my fucking hard-earned gold, which I don't want to do.
There is a perk that lets you see the difficulty of each check. So
right.
I would recommend getting
the chances of
getting
success.
that.
You mean?
It doesn't give you the chances. It just says it will tell you your rank in each one, and it'll say if it's hard, very hard,
Yes, I have that,
easy. There's a perk you can spec into that gives you that in speech. I would recommend looking into that, but because it definitely like eventually you just get so many points, you get everything pretty much. But like, there's a couple of things that I would recommend getting, and one of them is like the Explorer perk and the Scholarship.
I still haven't got the scholarship one.
And
I'm
then
reading
that
and reading.
one,
Oh my God,
that one that
it
I'm
takes
talking about,
forever.
because like the Explorer perk, you fucking get every single thing on the map uncovered for you. Boom, you see literally everything.
Oh, that's nice.
Perfect. I know where everything is. If I want to go check something out, I can go exactly where, like make a mark there. That one's really good. That's under Scholarship, and then the one with the charisma checking and stuff like that is really good. But again,
Yeah.
you
I
just
don't
got
know.
to steal some nicer clothes, bro.
Yeah, maybe because I got pissed off the other
You got
night
spectacles on?
where I had to go. I think I was
And you
doing
need
this.
the gold chain or the cross chain, the rings. You put the rings on.
Yeah, you got some
Yeah,
rings.
maybe I should, but I don't care enough. Like, I just sell them because I make tons of gold, and that's hard to come by in this game. So I'm
Yes.
like, I'm not
At the beginning,
fucking putting on rings. I'm just gonna sell them.
But
at the
again, you
fence
can't
for like 200
sell
gross.
a lot of stuff in this game either, because
Because
the thieving, when you're thieving, and trust me, I stole everything. I stole an entire fucking armor store's worth of plate armor. I stole his whole store. Okay, these things cost thousands each. These like these plate armors, the helms, they cost $1,000, and I stole them all. And I'm like, okay, where do I fucking sell these? Selling stolen stuff in this game is hard.
Mhm.
There aren't
Mhm.
fences.
There's
Like, there's
one.
no like fences that you just I steal
he's
my
got no
shit. I go
money.
sell to that guy.
What do you mean? There's one in
There's
the
maybe
gypsy
one.
camp.
Yeah, one guy, but he doesn't have fucking any money.
Well,
He
you get
barely has
one
any
later
money.
on in the Dry Devil.
Yeah, again, him too.
He's got no money.
They don't have more than a couple hundred
Yeah, you have
groschen.
to. Yeah, you have to like keep waiting for them.
Yeah,
to get
so you
to
actually
it's very
can't unload shit. So you
Yeah.
can't just go steal everything and make a bunch of money, which is pretty interesting. Some of the big vendors in Kuttenberg will have maybe 600 or 800. So you can sell them like one thing. Like I could steal this $3,000 helmet and I could go sell it for a loss because this guy only has $800.
Yeah, exactly.
Sell it for a loss, bro. That was my hard-earned thieving that got that. Okay, and then you have to wait a week for him to get $800 back.
The most I've had on my person was maybe $4,000.
I've had like 10, 15, but
Really?
like,
eh? That's
you don't
I
spend your
only
money.
have-
What do you spend your money on?
I only have like
I just
12.
steal it.
Unless you're constantly
right now.
paying off the law.
I did that a lot.
But like, I didn't spend much money. You're repairing, and that's it.
I think the
You
most
compare
I had
yourself.
was something like 15, around 1,500 right now.
Oh wow!
At like level, whatever fucking level I'm at. You know, in that time, I haven't got that much, so I fucking keep everything and I sell as much as I can. And I've definitely sold some stolen stuff. I don't really steal deliberately. It just happens to be like something that like because it belonged to somebody else, and I wasn't sneaking around and stealing. It's just I'll take it off of a dead body or something. I don't remember what the criteria was, but I ended up selling.
make
I
you-
sell quite a bit.
Yeah, they make you steal.
It's hard to steal. It's hard to be a thief.
Yeah, but in a
'Cause
lot
they'll
of the
see
quest
you.
lines,
You can't just wear something that's stolen either in the place
Yeah.
that you stole it, or they'll be like, "Hey," they're like, "That's not yours."
Or
Like,
if
they
Yeah,
know
If someone
you stole
hears
it.
you rustling around in their house, then they're alerted, and then they'll alert the guards. And so if they see someone suspicious around their house or in
Yeah.
the town, then you usually get stopped, and then they'll check for stolen goods. And
Yeah,
throw
they'll
you in
check for
prison or
stolen
whatever.
goods. So you have to give up your stolen goods if you get caught. If you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
like, if they suspect you at all, they're going to search you. There is perks though to kind of get out of that, whereas they maybe not. They won't find. There's like a 30% chance or a 60% chance they
Yeah.
won't find any stolen goods on you. So you can spec into that. You can also spec into stolen goods lose their stolen
Icon thing.
icon, like their stolen property, quicker. But it's still not
Right.
that quick.
It's not quick at all. It's like
No.
a week of in-game date. Like
Yeah,
a
it
week
still
of
takes
days.
forever. And I think you have to have it on your person the whole time.
What?
Otherwise, like you can't stash
No, I
it.
think you can stash it on your horse.
maybe on your horse, but I've stashed it in like a box in my room, and they were just always stolen there forever.
And what I didn't like is that you can't check the box. You have to take the item out of the box into your inventory and to see if the red hand goes away or not, and then put it back in your box. You can't. It doesn't show in the box if it's still stolen or not.
Oh yes.
Anyway, the NPCs have lives in this game.
Yes, it's a very lived-in world.
Yes, everyone is living and breathing in this game. They go to sleep, they wake up, they cook, they eat, they have breakfast, they go to the tavern, they go out to do their daily routine. It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
It's go to the
it's
tavern,
a little annoying,
play some
actually.
fucking dice. You know,
Yeah,
what I'm
go play some dice. Like the cities and villages are buzzing with people and conversations. You can stand by and like listen in. You know, fights will break out outside the local taverns
all the time.
Like people they're
just yelling at each other out front, and they just start fighting, and it's so
everyone
funny
gathers
to watch
around.
everyone
gathers around to watch.
It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Everyone gathers around, and they just beat the piss out of each other, and one of the guys like gets knocked out right there, and everyone's like, oh.
Yeah, all right,
and they just walk away.
He's just lying in the street.
He's lying in the shit, like so in the mud. He's unconscious. And the other guy goes, and he just stands up and walks away. Yeah. Very fucking funny.
Oh man, it's so funny. There's just so much going on in this game. It's so immersive. It makes you feel like you're part of this 14th century Bohemia. You know,
it does, because sometimes. I loved this. It happened multiple times. You're in a dialogue, and an NPC will start talking about a character that maybe you've already met at one point in the game. Like you've already talked to him or done a side quest with him or something. And you'll mention, it's like, oh, I know him. I met him already. And you'll say like a comment about it. Like if you already met that person. Very cool touch that they do throughout the game. It's very fucking cool. Or you'll say something when you meet someone. You'll be like, oh, I met your brother before. And I met your brother doing this or whatever on some random, if you met him in a different village or whatever, and the NPC will give like a little bit of a response. Another thing is, if you take someone's keys if you pickpocket their keys and they realize that they're missing, they'll change the locks to the house so the keys don't work anymore on the house.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I fucking found that out. I was like, what the fuck? I just stole this guy's keys. But like, I went back to get in again, but they caught me.
How
like the
long
first
after?
Time, like a day after or something. And I went back. I did get caught the first time. I went back with the keys, and they didn't work, and I had to pick the lock again, which was fine because I'm a master
Very
thief.
cool. So sick.
But yes, there's a lot going on. I love whenever, in different regions of the map too, like Apollonia. Whenever you end up, meandering over there, and you're kind of having to explore that what are they?
I like that
cliff?
area.
It's like
it's like rocks,
very
and
eerie, very eerie zone
rock
because they're
outcroppings and like caves and stuff.
Yeah, and there's just like bandit camps, because it's not just NPCs, but like bandits have these trails that they walk, and they walk along the road.
Cumans too. Cumin.
Yeah, and they just have these like camps, and they just sit there and they do their thing, and then they waylay merchants, and then they go back to their camps, and they're walking around. Now, I love that because I love getting into trouble in these kinds of games. So whenever you're walking along the road and there's a bandit leaning against the tree, and you see the icon come up like you're trespassing or something, it's like the orange rabbit being like, they want you to leave kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they start kind of mouthing off to you, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you get up to him.
The fuck you say?
And he's like, give me all your shit or I'll fucking kill you or whatever. And you just attack him or you do your thing. So I just love that there's that kind of trouble to get into. It's also that enemies have their own kind of world as well that you are passing through, and it's not just these towns. But it's so funny when people are sleeping and you have to like ask them questions, and the quest depends on your being in that private area to go ask them a question. That's what annoys me about this game. There's a few things that annoy me, but one of them is that where it's like, I need to go talk to this person right now because I have this quest, but it's like, but you're in a private area. And you're like, and then they start yelling at you to leave, and you're like, it just kind of gets in the way of the accessibility which is really annoying. Because I don't know. I have a comment about the realism in this game, which I'll save for my gigantic bone to pick before we finish this episode. But yeah, I think it even feels more alive than the first game. That's for sure.
Now, would you say you were more immersed in this game than Witcher 3? I would say yes.
I say yes.
Well, first being it first person.
Yeah.
Also, it not being like a fantasy world, I think helped. But I just like just how they did everything in such a nice package. It really brought me in. Like this game really brought me in. And when I sat on my controller and the TV or whatever, and I was just like, I was in it. I was Henry, and I was in it.
Yeah,
and it's so good. So like, if you're out there and you love your open worlds and getting immersed, like this is freaking top notch.
Yeah, there's just a lot of tiny details in this game that make you feel like you're immersed because they're things that you do perhaps experience in real life. Like you've got to launder your clothes if they're dirty, but you need soap to do that. You can't just, you know what I mean? So it's just these little things that like, oh, okay, gives you these tasks to do that immerse you in the world.
It's not like a survival game either, though.
No.
So with this kind of like goes into the next point. So let's talk about the gameplay and the mechanics of this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that next.
So, like you're saying, cleaning your clothes, there's a survival.
Eating.
There's a survival
cleaning
aspect,
yourself.
Survival aspect of this game where you have to eat, sleep.
Sleep, yep.
You can get poisoned.
Get hungover.
You get hungover. You can drink, which
get
will
food poisoning.
Raise your charisma, right? Food poisoning.
All
that kind of stuff. The big thing that sets this apart from other open world RPGs in my opinion was the fighting, the crafting, like the
choices.
The
choices are big.
No, but other did the choices. I think like the setting as well. I think really was it was different. Like the medieval open world RPG. Like, what is there another one out there? I don't think so.
Of what?
Medieval Dynasty, hello.
For medieval games?
Where you can literally fucking starve to death trying to make a log cabin.
That's a survival. That's like a survival RPG.
Yeah, right? No. There's really nothing, as far as I know, like this.
Yeah. So like, and then they brought in like, if you're dirty and you go to talk to somebody, they're like, "Oh, you stink like shit."
Yeah, and they get a little icon, a stinky icon.
And they, even if you're not even
like, there's quests where you literally have to wade through pig shit, and then and then your little icon is just like, you're filthy, and then you're like going to talk to people, and everyone will be like, everyone you walk by will be like, "What is that smell?"
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, what is that?"
It's like,
and then you can reply to them as you like walk by. You can press the button to reply to them. "Oh, sorry, I need to take a wash or whatever." Yeah. Fuck, man, it's so good.
So you got to go to the bath, and you gotta
hire the lovely ladies at the bathhouse.
You gotta go see some ladies at the bathhouse, get them to scrub you down. Boom, wash your clothes, and you're back.
That doesn't last long. Like, you get dirty instantly in this game.
You're fucking walking through mud everywhere.
Exactly. That's
There's
medieval.
No paved roads.
That's it. That's
you literally every time you see a wash bin, a rain bin,
you
got to go wash yourself.
Yeah, like I do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking great. It's so because like that's what you would do back then. It's literally what you do. You go over to the rain, these big basins. Like everyone has one outside their house, and you're like, "Oh, let me just use your basin here. Fucking splash some,
wash all this blood and fucking germs
you're
and
covered
disease
in
off of me."
Like if you look at your character, he's just got
all the
blood
time
everywhere, and he's like, "Oh," and you just go wash some of it off, and it says, "You are as clean as you'll get from."
I was like,
from
"Why
a
are
wash
you
basin.
so dirty all the time?" I'm like, "Because I'm killing people and I'm in medieval Europe here." Okay.
Yeah, you're fucking walking through mud. That's just all this.
Sleeping
What
on
it
hay
is. There's no
bales.
paved. Yeah, there's no paved roads, and you're sweating. Like, you just fucking are dirty
so
all the
good.
time, and you just got to wash yourself.
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Another big mechanic is the alchemy.
I really like the alchemy in this game.
So-
I did it a lot more than the first game.
Yeah, it's better than the first game. It's quicker. The first game.
It's fun. It's
Still,
so fun.
I still have some bone to pick with it. Like I didn't want, like I wanted to cook my potions or make my potions, but every time I got into it, I was just like, because I think I can't remember the order of everything, so I always have to look at the book, at the recipe book, like all the time. And I'm like, and I can't remember because my brain is mush.
Is that not realistic?
No, if it was
Would
realistic,
you have to look at the book? Yes, you would. If you were making a potion, you'd be like, okay, what is it again?
Yes.
Okay.
I understand that.
Over
but
here, okay.
The way where they put the book,
Yeah, I remember this being a
hated
lot easier.
There
in
should
the
have been a
first one.
zoom
I remember the book
button, a button that you could zoom on to the
or
book
have the
with.
book in front of me.
I remember the viewing the book,
yeah.
referencing the book
'Cause it's
while doing
slow.
alchemy in the first one was a lot easier. I'm pretty sure
So
because I remember doing it at like Bojena's hut
mhm.
and being like, "What the fuck? Why do I have to like look 5 feet away at
Yeah,
this?
to look
Why
way
isn't
over
it
here."
right here?"
Yeah.
So yeah,
I can't stand that. So it really did not make me want to make.
I didn't mind it. I could remember them.
And then the animations were quicker, which I liked. I enjoyed, like, the animations of pouring the stuff was a lot quicker. So like making a potion went from literally, I think it was like 5 minutes in the first one to make a fucking potion to like 2 minutes in the second one. But that's still
maybe
too
like
long
a
for me.
minute and a half, maybe. But like, it's cool because you make a bunch of potions when you get higher skill.
Yeah, so
And you
I
get
couldn't
it
that far.
perfectly. If you get it bang on, you get like 5. You get 5 potions every time, and they're of like perfect quality. Henry's quality. Henry's quality.
To save the game, you have to make a potion or find a potion to drink, and it saves your game.
You have to drink a savior schnapps or
A lot of
quit
people-
and save.
Yeah, yes. So a lot of people didn't like this mechanic. So
I didn't like it in the first one. It was at the very first, when I first played it. That was a big thing. We were just like, "What? You have to have a potion to save?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? What if I want to save?" Like, it was not very forgiving very early on. That's probably what you'll notice as a first time player. But you find them and you get them.
By the end of the game, I had so many just in my pockets that I was
Like I would craft 5 at a time, and they would be
So
perfect
tip.
quality, so they would give me stat boosts too when I
Get
use
that
them.
alchemy stat up if you want to start saving lots, because there's no
Yeah.
mod on console,
Yeah,
so
just
you'll
save.
be saving
Just-
quitting a lot.
Just create some savior schnapps. It's not too hard.
yeah, I also just buy them because if I have
you
the
can-
gold
yeah,
for
you
them,
can
I'm
buy
like
them, yeah.
20. They're like 20 G's.
Yeah, they're
Whatever.
not
I'm
bad.
like, okay, fine.
In KCD2, you need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to take care of yourself. Or when you find yourself in a pickle, you're gonna wish you had a good night's sleep.
Yeah, your stats will go down.
Your stats will go down. You'll start closing your eyes if you're too tired. And whenever you get into a fight and you're exhausted, like, it's brutal, and your
Well,
eyes are closing.
strength
You're like,
is- your strength is probably minus 10 or something.
yeah, and it's so bad, but it's
Yeah,
so
but-
fucking funny because I'm like falling asleep with the guys hammering me in the head. I'm like, I should have just went to sleep instead of stealing all that guy's stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
finding
it's
a place
fucking funny.
to sleep is a little bit weird too.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that there are camps on the road, though. Finally,
Mm-hmm.
they thought, okay, we need to give these fucking people a bed instead of having to like walk, 1,000 kilometers to the next village to find something, and it's not even your bed. So when you sleep in it, they get angry because it's like that wasn't your bed. So if someone's like, you can't be here, so it's nice that there are camps. It's cool to see that some other villagers or whoever travelers might be using them too, because you can't always. I think you can sleep at the camp though. You just can't eat from their food because that's considered stealing.
yeah.
But I think you can still sleep there when they're there. I'm pretty sure.
So funny.
I
Yeah, you
I
can.
remember doing that once though, and they got angry. So
I always
maybe
sleep wherever
they're
I
wrong.
want, and then when someone confronts me, then I just scream at them and intimidate them. They're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, that's right," and I'll go back to sleep.
But the annoying thing about rest in this game, this is a tiny bone to pick, is like there's such thing as too much sleep. You just can't. You can't. I remember one time it was like I got into a lot of fights consecutively, and I needed to like save my game, and I needed like checkpoints, and I needed like rest, and so I went to go sleep to heal because I forgot I had like marigold decoction. Great potion to have. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. I just realized I was like, oh yeah, there's a health
you
potion
can,
in
like,
this game,
sleep
for
less.
fuck's sake. Well, yeah, no, the problem is you can sleep to restore your health, but you also have energy. And when your energy is full, the game is like, you can't sleep anymore
Yeah.
because you're not tired. It's like, come on, man.
Mhm.
Like, the fucking realism in this game sometimes is just such a fucking jip. It pisses me off. And
There
so
are things you can do though to
There's
to
perks
restore
that
your
are like
health.
you don't have to sleep as long to restore this.
Yeah, I know. Of course, there are things to do, but it's just funny when you think about like most games would be like, oh yeah, you can go to sleep anytime you want for as long as you want, and like there's no penalty.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I would prefer in this instance when the game is just so hard on you. Like,
Yeah.
give me something, throw me some bone.
No, it wasn't that bad.
But anyway,
It
it
is
just
difficult.
made me angry.
It is difficult in the first like 10 hours of the game. It's difficult to like get your footing.
Yeah, your footing.
Yeah.
Once you
for
get
sure.
once you get established and get your kind of your feel for it,
Yeah.
it's just like you start going from there, and you start.
And then whenever you start getting into the fighting and learning the fighting, so let's talk about that. The fighting in this game is much I'd say much easier than the first one. It's way more accessible. They actually removed one of the points of contact in the wheel.
Yeah, true.
So
there's only 4 in the new one, right?
3.
3?
3 or 4.
No, there's 3, top, left, right, and there's a star, which is the
Bottom, okay.
Not a star,
Bottom,
but
for
it
the
is
stab.
4.
Yeah, so there's 4.
So there's 4 total.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and the other one there was a complete 5 and a stab.
And a
So
center.
there was
Yeah.
6 in the first one, which there was
Yeah.
a lot. There was a lot to get around.
Yeah, it's much easier to get hits, to get strikes in than it was.
And that the more you, because I think the more accessible it is, the more you want to fight and learn it, because it's a little bit easier, so then you can master it quicker. And then by the time you're halfway through the game, you're looking for fights, and you want to do the parry and the block and the stab and the combos.
Yeah, I mean, they made swords really really strong though in this one, so I didn't even play anything else because the master striking is so
it's so good.
strong. Like,
So the
I
master
literally just
strike-
wait for people to attack me, and then I just parry them and fucking kill them,
and then one shot them in the face or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, the fighting is much better and accessible in this one. You're gonna find it funner. It's gonna be much funner to do those kind of combos and stuff like that. What else?
I had a bug. I don't know if you found this, where almost every combat, I couldn't use my master strike on the first attack until I blocked or parried a couple of times. Then the master strike would work.
No,
It was really weird. It was annoying too, because when I had my fancies on or my sneakies and I didn't have my armor, I'm like, oh, I'll just master strike this guy, and I do it, and it should have worked, but it doesn't do anything.
You might not have, with all your fancies on, you don't have the correct amount of I don't know, strength or something
I don't think so.
to do that.
I don't think so.
I'm always trying for a master strike. It's so satisfying when you
sweet.
land one. I just learned knee cut or something or whatever, knee swipe. I don't remember. And I don't know if I've even done it, but it's just funny when you do things like master strike because I don't remember this happening in the first game. I think it's kind of another immersion improvement, but like whenever you do these cool moves, your opponents, you can hear them getting a little intimidated, and they're like, "What are you, a butcher?" Or they're like, "What are you? What the fuck?" And they start swearing because they get so confused at how skilled you are, right? So I thought that was really cool.
Oh man, so.
But yeah, I'm constantly looking for that. I just feel like, yes, the combat's easier because that's right. I do remember the 5-point star in the first game, so it's a little bit easier to do like a center strike if you're doing, the bottom portion of that interface. But I just think it's crazy because, as good as you think that you are and can handle some guys, like the other day, I still got fucked up by like 2 guys in just like gambesons and like leggings and boots, you know what I mean? Because they were just so fast. Like, you can really fuck you up, and when an enemy is really fast and they strike combos together, and you're like, wow, I just lost half of my health because they're incredibly fast and I couldn't block in time. So, you can't really underestimate who you're going up against. You just have a bit of a better shot if you can land your blows, but I think it's one of those games where you still have to be careful whenever you're, tread lightly whenever you're getting into combat.
I didn't.
I
mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes, but
unless you have leveled up Mutt.
Tank.
Yeah, and then Mutt is what I have next.
I never did
so
Mutt.
Mutt is your little doggy companion in this game.
Yeah, I never did that.
And you can level him up, and you can actually sick him on someone to keep someone busy while you fight someone else. And then he'll actually, like, you can stat into bleed. So if he bites that person, they'll be bleeding while you're fighting somebody else. And then when you just get to the next person, you just fucking one-shot him because he's already half dead from the bleed. But like, you can send Mutt in to start the fight, and then they'll focus Mutt, and you go behind them and just stab them in the back a couple of times, and they're dead. But Mutt was key in my playthrough.
My key was my massive amount of armor.
Yeah.
I was just so, like, my defense was insane. Like, I could just stand there and let guys hit me, and they were just like, it was just like wouldn't do any fucking damage on me. And like I have a YouTube video up that I uploaded. I fought an entire village of soldiers.
Yeah.
And I killed
was pretty impressive, yeah.
70 people or something like that. And I was just I literally fought 9 guys at a time. And they were just like, pop. I was like, oh, and I didn't die. I came close though. I came close, but I had a perk that whenever you go get a killing blow, it like heals you a little bit. It heals you instead, and you kind of get a second wind, I think it's called, or something like that. And that was huge because like once I get that, I'm like, oh, I get a little bit of health, a little bit of stamina back. You're fucking dead. That's it. No more playing around. And then I kill everybody. But yeah, it was because of the master striking though, because you can just. But if I was with like a blunt weapon, I would have had to be more careful probably because I had to land my blows. I have to actually fight because you can't do the master strikes unless you have a sword.
Yeah, correct.
Don't work on hammers or whatever.
Last point on that, Daniel, before we.
I was just gonna say, and pointers for when you are playing. Remember what you're using versus what you are attacking. Mm-hmm. So you got to use blunt, heavy weapons like hammers and maces against heavy armor like plate because it just does more damage. I think you can use your swords against people in
padded shit,
tunics and clothes and padded things.
They die pretty quick.
But yeah, you gotta like think about that, which is really, really cool. I do have Mutt fighting for me as well. He is a cool little addition to combat. I have a strange relationship with it though, because I love combat so much in a game where it's like realistic and addictive, kind of like this, or even Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, where I want to engage everyone. But sometimes Mutt's like attacking or aggroing an enemy, and they're just like focused on the dog, and I get a little bored because I'm like, get over here, like just ignore the dog, because I just have total free strikes, right? When it's just like, which I guess is okay, but I don't know, it's a weird thing.
Mutt will run away if he gets hurt too much. He won't come back for a while.
Yeah, so that's cool.
You
got to feed him, and he'll stay loyal. You gotta reward him and like pet him or whatever.
I kill wolves and feed him wolf meat.
I had so much meat. Like I couldn't even carry the meat, man. It was so heavy. Like if you kill a deer and you butcher it, you're over encumbered just from one deer because it's like hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, I guess so. That's
of just meat.
Real.
And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck am I gonna do with all this meat? I had to go. You have to like somehow
go to the smokehouse.
Make it. Yeah, you have to dry it on a rack, but getting there because you're over encumbered is hard.
There's so much to talk about in this game that like 2 hours isn't really enough.
Should we do a part 2 for this?
No, I think the last thing I want to cover is just the new addition to blacksmithing. We mentioned the crafting, but the blacksmithing is another big thing that they added to this, where you can craft weapons, like actual craft blacksmith weapons in a forge. You put the iron in the coals, you hammer it out, you heat it, you cool it, you steam it, you smash
the bellows.
Oh,
the fire and the bellows.
What a fantastic addition to this immersive RPG. It makes it even more immersive.
The sound is really good too.
The sound, the pinging, and you can't hit it in the same spot.
Yeah, you got to keep moving it. Ping, ping.
Too many times. Yeah.
The whistling.
The whistling while you're pinging the hammer.
While you're to the rhythm, it's like if you're doing a good rhythm, he starts whistling the song.
And I do this. I do the tap smash. I do the tap pang. So I'm always like tick pang, tick pang, tick pang, tick pang.
Oh, I see. I just always the same rhythm. Bing, bing, bing. Flip
Hold it.
See what I like?
Up and down, flipping it. Just making it even, and then it goes faster.
I like that the sound effect is part of the mechanic of the game, though. It's essential in that you know when you are striking
really nice.
it correctly.
It's like
that's when you know you're making progress to finishing the piece. It's not just a nice sound that they put in. It directly relates to how well you are doing in the task, which is really cool, too.
I was like, what are you doing? And they're like, pang, pang, pang.
It was loud,
pang.
too. I was like, well, I gotta put this down, because it was like late at night. I'm just like 2 a.m. It's just ping. Fucking 2 a.m. That's all you hear in my house. Ping.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Blacksmithing is fucking stupid.
So awesome. So fucking sweet.
I want to say another thing I really liked about the game, other than the crafting. Well, moving on from the crafting. The amount of like detective type quests I really like, where you go on these investigations and you're like solving murders or you're solving something. There's a lot of those, and they're really fun and very engaging. And I remember that from the first one as well. It's almost like he's Henry's like a medieval detective, medieval PI. And there's a lot of quests like that, which is fucking great.
Henry P.I.
Yeah, Detective Henry, medieval PI. Another thing I want to say, the choice in this game is crazy.
Yeah.
Depending on your stats, you can do quests and make decisions in different ways. And I'm really curious as to the ways that maybe I didn't choose. You know what I mean? Like what else would have happened? Like, what am I missing out on?
Yeah.
Because I did it this way. Like, there's some big decisions that I made, and I used, let's say, my scholarship because I had read a lot of books, and my guy's very smart. So it opens up options in the dialogue, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, well, this is just this," but that wouldn't have been there, and I would have had to maybe do like some fighting or whatever, or lying or coercing or whatever otherwise. But because my scholarship was so high, like I could like tell someone, "Oh, like you're wrong. This is what happens," and they're like, "Really? I didn't know that."
Yeah,
Like,
when they're like religious.
yeah, and but yeah, I also had a super high charisma, so I could talk myself out of almost anything. Like I had max charisma for 50 hours of the game, so I could literally tell anyone anything I wanted. But there's a really cool part where you decide to do something differently, and you get into like an argument with the Dry Devil, and you have to like fight him and win a duel to do it your way, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, really cool. Yeah,
but it makes it so your reputation goes down with like another character.
Yeah,
so
there's consequences.
Yeah, I was like, oh, what do I do here? But I was like, fuck you, man. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking duel you, and like you duel him, and you didn't have to do that though. You could have like went along with what he said.
Different outcomes.
You could have completely went along with what he said, and even though you didn't agree with it,
yeah, the branch,
but yeah, the ending also gives some choices, and I'm sure there are many different things that you can see from doing that. But that's what I wanted to say about the choices.
I love that.
And that's all I got to say about
I love it,
that.
but I hate it.
Okay, Daniel, your final thoughts?
My bone to pick. One bone to pick. Very big bone to pick.
A very big bone.
Taking too long to advance in a quest, and the game moves on without you. Okay?
Yeah.
I fucking hate this.
Yes.
I hate
Timed
it
quests.
so much. Let me tell you why in a very small amount of time. If one of the main characters in a quest says, "All right, Henry, are you ready to go? We have to go do this thing." And if you say, "Hang on a minute, I need some time still." For instance, after spending half an hour clearing out a bandit camp with tons of chests and corpses to loot, and you take too long, they'll go without you, and the quest will end, and you'll lose potentially an hour or two, maybe, of gameplay in a whole other segment of that quest that you otherwise would have loved and enjoyed and gained things from, like gear, money, whatever, and they just ream you out for not being there when you finally check in with them. It's the like most counterintuitive to a player experience mechanic that I think I've ever witnessed, and I wish they had never ever thought of it, because in my opinion, it doesn't add anything to the game.
It adds replay value.
Yeah, but it literally only takes away from you during your first experience. And I think this is where the realism goes too far. Like, this is not an MMO where I'm playing online live. I don't give a shit about that. I want to be part of this game. I don't want to have to experience FOMO when I'm playing a game. Like, in terms
just
of,
so you play it again.
You know what I mean?
That's all.
Yeah, but like that's so many hours down the road. Why would I ever? Because I'm like one of those persons where I'm like, I'm never gonna play this again. Why would I want to think about that? No, for all they know, I'm playing this through once. So anyway, I was so fucking pissed off when that happened. They finished a quest. I went back. They were like, "Where were you?" So anyway, really not a fan of that. But everything else so far, I'm loving this game. I think we should do another deep dive with a spoiler cast once I beat this.
Okay. Sure.
Wow. Okay.
I can always talk about this game. It probably won't be as long, but we'll just maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so yeah, love this game. Amazing game. One of my top 3 games of all time. I think definitely. It's so good, so good. If you guys love open world games, you love like intricate, like detailed stuff, you got to play this game. You have to play this game. It is a gem of 2025. I hope to see it in the awards somewhere. Okay, it has to be winning something. Give it something.
Yeah.
But that's it.
I really hope
that's
it
it.
does.
I gotta write this outro real quick. Alrighty, everybody, that's it for this week's episode. We want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen and or watch. Please be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and give us the ratings and reviews on Spotify or Apple if you could. It helps us to get out there to more listeners who may enjoy the show. Also, we are now part of the Superpod Network, a network of podcasts you can find and browse. Check out over on superpodnetwork.com. Remember, you can always leave us a DM on Facebook or Instagram, but don't do that. Let's send us a message on our Blue Sky. That's where I'm most active. You can ask us questions there. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for listening to this one, and I hope that you give Henry a try. Okay?
Go play Henry.
All right, everybody.
I think that was the fastest Nathaniel's ever read.
Yes, that was definitely was. I've never heard him talk so fast. He might die now.
Yeah, I think I'm about to keel over. Anyway, everybody, have a nice night or day whenever you're listening to this. Peace.
Ciao.
See ya.